We are back. Had a little bit of a hiatus. New season, playing some bad players. I've been a little busy and I went to Pokemon Go Fest in New Jersey City this past weekend, so I got a lot of other content to work on. But here we go. Great league action. Bellibolt as my lead against this Typhlosion. Bellibolt is kind of broken with parabolic charge, raising the defense as well. Now, working into the Typhlosion, I've had this matchup quite a few. I do opt to go shields with this, knowing that they're probably not going to be throwing Thunder Punches against Bellibolt. They're probably going to throw the Blast Burn. So that's a ton of energy for them down the drain. Now, I will use this, raise my defense one more time, and now we're even in terms of shield, okay? Can I get the farm down? I cannot. Okay, but I will be able to get an energy. I am. Oh my goodness. All right, so I got one more parabolic charge ready for whatever he wants to bring in. It is a Credilli, and not much of anything against that rock and grass type Pokemon. I do swap into my Dusclops. Dusclops is beefy. I am going double ghost currently in this meta. It's worked out pretty well so far. So I know I can eat one more move here from this Credilli. I am going to farm a ton of energy to throw into this Credilli, more specifically Ice Punch right there. And because the Shadow Punch is less energy to get to, I do opt to this to close out that matchup. Now here comes the Annihilate. I'm going to use Shadow Punch, should take out a nice chunk there as well. And I'm going to work my best to Astonish down. One Rage Fist I don't think is enough to take me out here completely. Yep, that's it. And that's going to be a win for the good guys. I go on a nice run with this team tonight, so I hope that you enjoy watching me go through. Great lead matchup here. Bellibolt into a Shadow Pidgeot, quick swap into a Credilli, and I bring in my Dusclops, okay? Very similar to the last game. This is not really a scary matchup for me, as Dusclops is extremely bulky, and no move that this Credilli has is going to put me in serious jeopardy. Okay, here comes a second, likely a rock too. Okay, so my attack is getting whacked right now, but I should be able to close him out here. Very nice. That's going to take care of the Credilli. Here comes Pidgeot. Okay, so he gets the farm down. I swap into my Bellibolt and then immediately switch into my Dusknoir. Okay, I'm going to eat. I don't believe anything that this Sandslash has will take me out in one shot. And here comes a Shadow Punch. The reason I threw Shadow Punch was a little bit of a, deke, but I was doing a ton of damage to this Sandslash either way. So the Ice Punch is going to take me out. I'm going to shield Bellibolt here. And again, I have a really nice matchup with the Shadow Pidgeot in the back. And I have some energy. So the first Parabolic Charge goes through. The second is CMP, so I'm going to shield here. I look at it this way: if I can keep using parabolic charges, I'm going to raise my defense so that when I don't have the shield, at least my defense will be high. For some reason, the opponent let that parabolic charge through, and that is going to be another win. So we're hot, okay? Shadow Gyarados. This is a pretty sweet Pokemon here, and a pretty good matchup for me as well. They end up swapping into a Stunfisk. I am bringing in my Dusclops. Again, I should be able to eat basically every move that this Stunfisk throws, so I am going to Ice Punch, which will do super effective damage against this ground and electric type Pokemon. Very nice, super effective. And again, I'm going to save my shields for a rainy day. So we're getting hot. This is going to be the season, guys. I have a good feeling about this. I am going to get Legend this season. There is enough for a Shadow Punch right there. Is that enough to take out? Not quite. Okay. I'm going to not shield. I don't think this will be enough to take me out. And I should be able to get close to, if not a full farm. Yes, I get the full move. But now the only problem is I'm only going to be able to get one charge move off into this Crocodile, I believe. So first goes through. Oh, I am able to get to a second. Very nice. Second move comes through. Second Shadow Punch. It's going to take off a nice chunk. My opponent does have both shields. That is the only problem at the moment. Okay, I am going to let this through. Who's going to be the first one to budge on the shield? I did not know Crocodile could learn Crunch, so that was on me. That one hurt. But now he brings back his Gyarados, and I have Parabolic Charge waiting for him. And my Electric type Bellibolt here is going to go to work. This Pokemon is broken. Truly broken. There's a block on the Crunch, and I still have one shield. This should be enough to take him out, and should basically lock up the win for me here. So I don't know if the opponent quit or what, but I think this is what happens when the opponent quits. But this will be win number 3. Very nice. Okay, so we're on a nice roll here. This team is awesome. I really enjoy playing with it. So Azu into a Bellibolt. I do have some content coming. I got a rank. It's technically a rank 2, but I call it a rank 1 PvP Azu. Phenomenal. So I have some content with that coming soon as well. Had some awesome catches in the Pokemon Go Fest as well. I ended up getting a shiny Carbink that's a 95 for Great League PvP. So it's costing me a lot of Stardust, but I'm getting it done. Shadow Punch here from Dusclops into this Charjabug. Wow, drew a blank. All right, and here comes a Shadow Punch from Dusclops into this Azu. Now I'm just trying to chip here. I'm not gonna switch. I'm not gonna give them the advantage and the ability to swap out of that matchup. I want Bellibolt on this Azu. Ice Beam not enough to take them out just yet. And again, just chipping away. Switch comes in. I do end up using a Parabolic Charge, but they were able to switch it fast enough. They bring in a Marowak. The problem with this Marowak is it is super allergic to my Dusknoir. Okay, Astonish down. Yes, sir. Ton of energy heading into that last matchup with Azu. Here is the Shadow Punch number 1. Here comes number 2. And I believe I have that one shield. I do. I'm definitely not going to use it on my Dusknoir. There's no point. Save it for Bellibolt, who has the type advantage against this Azu. And that's it. Didn't even need to. Alright, so another win. Heading into the 5th game. Bellibolt into a Talonflame. Excellent matchup for me as well. Even though Bellibolt uses Sucker Punch and not an Electric Charge move. Quick swap into my Dusclops. This has been an awesome maneuver so far for me this season. I am up to level, I think, 18 now. Level 18. I've been playing well. I'm like 30, 40 games over 500. So, Dusclops yet again. Shadow Punch into this Whiscash. Alright, and I do not shield. You know, Dusclops is so bulky. There's nothing super effective. And that was a little bit of a fail. I should have mashed the charge move there. But Dragonair comes in. I have my Dusknoir. That, you know, realistically I could have used the shield there, but that is an Aqua Tail. Now I get into my Shadow Punch here. And that's going to be blocked. So I am up 2 shields to none. I get to another Shadow Punch here. Not sure if this is going to be enough to take out, but at the very least I'll have Bellibolt ready to go with a Parabolic Charge. Oh, I went for the nuke. I tried to Zap Cannon that thing and it did not. They quick swapped it. It's enough to take out the Whiscash, and remember I have the shields now, so I will ultimately be able to get to the nuke if I would like. And there's my 2 shields. And because I no longer have a shield, I don't think I'm going to play any games. I'm going to go with the Parabolic Charge to end this game. So a nice set to start off this series. On to our second set here. Bellibolt lead into a Magcargo. Annoying matchup as it has the rock subtyping. So I need to bring in my Dusknoir here. Likely going to be a Rock Tomb. I can eat one. Still gonna stink, and it's gonna be tough to get that out of here. Toxapex comes in. Ugh, this is a annoying team. Shadow Punch number 1. Shadow Punch number 2. Again, this is definitely an annoying team for a team constructed the way that mine is here. I get to a 3rd Shadow Punch here, but that Toxapex is gathering a ton of energy right now. So I'm going to bring back Bellibolt, which ultimately should be enough to take out this Toxapex. charge move coming here from this Toxpex. It is Brian, very trash move. Now here's where I kind of fumbled a little bit. I should have just went parabolic charge almost ASAP. I know I gathered up energy, but it would have raised the defense stat a little bit quicker. Here comes a Marowak. Ugh, terrible matchup for my team here, as I don't really have much of an answer for this other than an Ice Punch with my Dusclops. I do let this one go, doesn't take off too much damage. I'm just trying to stay ahead. So as you can see here, I'm using the Shadow Punch. Blocked, very good. Can I get to my second before I have to shield? Not quite. So one and throw here against that Marowak. I do go with the Ice Punch. Will this be enough to take out? No, it will not. He's going to shield again, and I have my last shield. I'll be able to take out this Marowak, but beyond this Marowak, I think I'm in some serious trouble. Okay, because still have to deal with that Macargo, and it's not going to be enough, and that is going to be a loss. I do end up getting one more Shadow Punch, but Dusclops, despite being extremely bulky, does not necessarily have the nuke move, or at least I don't have it. I could use Poltergeist, but I like Shadow Punch. Another tough lead here, Diggersby. Quick swap into it, the Denny, which I've seen all over the place so far this season. That is kind of why I changed up my team a little bit. I was doing well, but you know, you run into it, the Denny, and it's just automatically a tough game. So with this team, I do have a couple answers to it. So I have a ton of energy right now into this, the Denny. I throw my second Shadow Punch. This one is blocked. I'm just short in time on getting to my next move. Parabolic charge comes through. I do let it go, and it is not enough to take me out. Can I get to one more Shadow Punch after this one? I believe so, yes. Get to another Shadow Punch. He's got to decide, will he shield? Will he not? He lets his Denny go. Beautiful. Diggersby comes in. Here comes my Ice Punch. Will this go through, or will they shield with the Diggersby? Alright, not bad. Alright, we got one through. We have the shield advantage, and we got a whole lot of health. Alright, in reality, I did not need to shield this move. Scorching Sands, and I believe I get debuffed. Yes, I get the attack debuff there. And Iraq, when it comes in, and I bring in my Bellibolt here, parabolic charge on the way. Raise the defense, while also putting in super effective damage into that Araquanid. Here comes the charge move, likely Big Buzz, or Bug Buzz, whatever. That is going to do some serious damage against me, but I do get to another parabolic charge here. And that's going to be enough to take the Araquanid out. Now I can't swap, so energy for that Diggersby as we head down the final stretch here. I do let this charge move go, and now I have my shield. I have saved up 2 dynamic punches. This game should be ours. Very good. 2 dynamic punches. Here's number 1. As long as I get to this next one, very good, and that's going to be a win. So really, either way, whether he went Fire Punch, but he was not even close to a Scorching Sands there, that's a good win for us right there. So we're back in the winners column. Very nice. Next matchup, Whiscash, tough lead here for my Bellibolt, okay? I do farm up to get close to a charge move, and I quick swap into my Dusclops, which should eat this Mud Bomb, no problem. Quick swap into a Galarian Moltres. Uh-oh. Dark move, not ideal. Here comes an Ice Punch. It does go through, but this fast move pressure is way too strong. I do get a second Ice Punch in here. Is it enough? Not quite enough. Uh-oh. There's still energy on this Moltres. For my Bellibolt, I'm going to let one through and then ride the 2-shielder into my Dusknoir. I get the KO there, but here comes back in that Whiscash, and now they bring in a Dragalge, which I believe Dusknoir wins this in the no shield matchup. So unless it could be Outrage, that's the issue. It turns out to be an Aqua Tail. That's kind of where I folded there. All right, here comes a Shadow Punch. That is going to be blocked. And here, you know, I didn't want to burn both of my shields. Aqua Tail, very nice. Can I get the full farm? I can't. If I got the full farm there, I had a chance, but I don't really have a chance now. Had to burn my last shield. They bring in the Whiscash. I'm going Dynamic Punch. They have a shield, though. That is the problem. And I quick swap into my Bellibolt. eat the charge move for me. Thank you. And now I come back in with my Dusknoir. Can I get to a dynamic punch? I cannot, and that is going to be curtains for the good guys. So, tough team matchup. It's funny, every time you get on a roll, it seems like you face the exact team you don't want to face. Okay. Shadow Steelix, another not a great lead for me. I have to swap out into my Dusknoir. The only thing about Shadow or Steelix in general is that the charge move is not very good. It's Psychic Fangs. It does drop my defense though. They bring in the Dusclops, and I have 2 Ghost charge moves ready to go. So here comes Shadow Punch. And that's going to be blocked. And knowing I don't have a lot of health or energy, I do let this through to take out my Dusknoir. Now I bring in Bellibolt with the Sucker Punch. I'm going to go for the Sucker Punch down here. I do end up shielding. I don't necessarily think I needed to shield, but that's going to be your farm down. We're even in shield. I have some energy. Steelix comes in. I quick swap into Dusclops. They bring in a Golisopod here. This matchup should be a good one for me. They have the fast move pressure, but their charge moves aren't going to do much of anything against me. I do opt to go to Shadow Punch here, which does decent damage despite the bug typing of Golisopod. Here's the second. We got him down to the wire. I believe... Oh, I shielded this. I wonder when I shielded this. I guess because Bellibolt Steelix is such a bad matchup. That makes sense why I did that. Okay, Steelix. Here comes an Ice Punch. That is going to be blocked. And I get to one more. Oh, CMP. Steelix takes it. Breaking Swipe not enough. Ice Punch coming in. This should take off decent damage here. Very nice. And now I could swap into my Bellibolt Zap Cannon. Is the nuke enough? Will this be enough to take out a Steel and Ground type Pokemon? And it does. And Golisopod goes down. So another good win there for Bellibolt. Alright, last set here. Bellibolt into a Shadow Typhlosion. Again, I'm going with a farm maneuver. Parabolic Charge, and I do use my shields. Alright, number 1 is blocked. I'm going to go with the shield just in case it's Blast Burn, and it... Oh, he ends up using a Thunder Punch. That would not have done any damage to me. Superior comes in here, and I quick swap into my Dusclops, as you could see by the connection. Little laggy, but I'll take it. Frenzy Plant actually does a decent amount of damage. I do have to use my last shield, or this Frenzy Plant would have melted me away, but I do have enough for 2, count them, 2 Ice Punches. Ice Punch number 1, big hit, and I'm going to opt to use my Shadow Punch because of the low health this Superior has. They end up blocking, and that is alright. I am able to get to another Shadow Punch, and he quick swaps in. He quick swaps at his Shadow Typhlosion. Oh my goodness. Alright, Azu comes in here. I'm going to get some chip damage before I'm eliminated here with my Dusclops. Very nice job, sir. Here comes the Bellibolts. Parabolic Charge. Time to ramp it up. Beautiful. Big hit right there. I don't have any shields to protect, but I do have a full health Dusknoir in the back. Take care of business against this Azu. And that is a quits. Very nice. Call the ambulance. We have a quitter. We got a crier. Charge a bug into a Bellibolt here. Bellibolt's working his Sucker Punch into this Charge a bug. Quick swap into a Dusclops. Dusclops will eat this charge move, whatever it is. X Scissor it is. Here comes a Sableye. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not good. Okay, this is not good at all. Foul play is going to be blocked. I am going to use my first Ice Punch here against this Sableye. Okay, decent amount of damage there. Shadow Punch coming in hot. Very nice. I think the Shadow Punch is actually better than the Ice Punch in that scenario. You know, you would think with the Dark type subtyping, that's going to be enough to take out my Dusclops. I do switch into my Dusknoir trying to get an energy lead here. Doesn't work out all that well. And I'm going to have to use my last shield. So I am down 2 shields. Azu comes in. Here's where I should have swapped right away. Parabolic Charge coming through. That will be blocked. Energy rises. Charge a Bug comes in, which isn't necessarily a terrible matchup. Just electric typing. I mean, I just need this Bellibolt into this Azu. Here comes another charge, parabolic charge. Very good. Not the most damage. I just really need a farm down and I don't get it. Here comes X Scissor. Does not take me out. Can I get the full farm? I can. Here comes parabolic charge. This is going to come down to the wire, believe it or not. Okay, that second one is blocked. Energy is wasted on my Bellibolts here. KO. I have a ton of energy. I just don't know if I have the answer to this Azu. That's the problem. And one charge move probably will be enough to take me out. So I see Shadow Punch doesn't do much. I swap over to the Dynamic Punch, which does less. Now I'm in some trouble. Play Rough will do some serious damage, and that it does. And I'm, one tap away from getting that win. Shadow for Alligator into a Bellibolt here. Bellibolt working its fast move pressure. I am going to not shield. I eat a Hydro Cannon, which takes a huge chunk, and they swap. So this literally went as bad as humanly possible. Dunsparce into my Dusknoir. Okay, I'm going to farm up and hopefully get two multiple Dynamic Punches. I believe I do end up going for a fake out here. I do. I throw a Shadow Punch hoping that I'll get a shield. And I do not. That is problematic because now I am going to have to eat a charge move. So good call by the opponent there. I do end up getting another Dynamic Punch off here though. I think this is enough to take him out unless they shield and they're genius. No, they are not. For Alligator comes back. Can I get to a Shadow Punch? Yes, I can. So I will be able to get back one of those shields. Quick swap into my Bellibolt here and I'm going to let it go. Thank you for the catch. Hydro Cannon tank. Dusclops comes in. I just want to get some energy on this Dusclops. I can go for the full farm down, knowing that this fast move pressure is going to be pretty annoying though. They swap into a Clodsire. They have one shield and I have a ton of energy. Ice Punch number 1. Okay, decent damage. Ice Punch number 2 coming in hot. Remember, they have one shield. Okay. Okay, that is going to be blocked. And a perfect catch. I'm getting good. I told you guys I was getting good at this. Here he comes again. They still have that shield. Okay, now I work this Ice Punch into Clodsire again. That is almost enough to take him out, but it's not. The only thing is they got to that really fast. Probably a Sludge Bomb. Oh, Stone Edge. Alright, does decent damage. Now I'm able to wipe out the Feraligatr and Clodsire. Adios. Great win right there. 2 catches in the same game. Bellibolt into Dedenne. Okay, power. Battle of the electric type. Just annoying. And we're both raising our defenses every single time with this parabolic charge. So here's mine. That one is shielded. Okay. Alright, I do opt to shield after that. You know, Dedenne wanted to shield, I'll shield too. It's fine. Okay. Here comes a parabolic charge myself. Alright, we're just raising this defense back and forth. Okay. Dedenne is a little bit quicker to Bellibolt, but Bellibolt has the ability to have that dark type fast move, which I think is very helpful. Alright, here comes my parabolic charge. Notice they didn't throw. So I'm thinking, do they have back to back? Are they going to try and snag a shield for me? Parabolic charge 1, and I do not get to my next. So, but I didn't make them waste energy, which is good. So, Dedenne takes down Bellibolt in the one shield matchup there. Okay, and Dedenne is able to get to a move. I do not believe parabolic charge will do much of anything exactly. And now against this Drapion, I'm going to have multiple charge moves ready. Ice Punch number 1 on the way. Very nice. Second one coming. Will it be enough to take out this dark poison type Pokemon? Okay, I am going to let it through and play the shield with my Dusknoir. Crunch goes through. That hurt. Okay, I have one shield. Can I get to... Dynamic Punch should be enough from here. Maybe a couple more farms. And, oh, they went for the catch. And luckily for me, I was able to take him out without wasting the energy. Drapion here. Dynamic Punch, enough to take him out. And a 1v1 against this Jellicent. Here's the problem. Jellicent is definitely getting to that Shadow Ball, so I might be in trouble here. All right, here is, yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Shadow Ball, and that is going to be it. Okay, so that was, my gameplay, and I'm easing back into it. I've been playing against some not so good players. Now they're getting better for sure, but they weren't as good when I first got going this season. I don't dislike this season. I've just been better gameplay wise, and also I've been catching Pokemon that are actually good for PvP, so I've been scanning stuff as I'm out and about. But anyways, thanks for watching. I got more coming. Check out my shorts if you like regular gameplay. So I'll catch everybody soon.